live.
I'm live on Monday night. Hey, everybody. Built on a rock. Where to begin? Kiki, how are ya? Jennifer, Mama Z in Texas, and then we have Where to Begin Homestead, and our guests back to Country Homestead. We'll get them live on here in a minute or two. Mama Z, they're in your part of the world. Linda Jacobs, how you doing? Hope y'all had a wonderful weekend. Hope those that celebrated had a wonderful Mother's Day. I was Miss Allie. How you doing, sweetheart? Grammy Karen. I had a nice Mother's Day. We got to visit. We had Kaylee and Celia for a couple hours yesterday morning. So that worked for me. I enjoyed that. That worked for me. You finally caught a live. Well, we're about as live as you can get, Homestead Rewind. Hey, Bend Over, how you doing? Rosanna Dana. Boston Rocks from Kansas City, Missouri. We were in Kansas City, Missouri. Was it Kansas City? No, it wasn't Kansas City we were in. We were in Missouri when I still worked for the phone company. But it wasn't Kansas City.
No, it was.
Was it?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. Yeah. When I used to work for the telephone company. Eons ago. It's that hot down there, huh? It got 72 here today, Mama Z. So that was a nice thing. That's all I can say. So our guests are also from Texas. So Mama Z, not sure if we're going to get the accent / twang that you have, because yours is definitely there. But we'll see. Thank you, Grammy Karen. I had it done today. When I went a couple months ago to a place here, I wanted streaks in my hair, just a few streaks, and she did almost my whole head. And a very crappy job. 91. Whoa. Oh, only 105 yesterday. Oh, Rosanna, you got your $2 bill? Awesome. For those that don't know and are maybe new here, we do give out a $2 bill every week. We give 2 of them out. And yes, these are freshly printed.
And this is worldwide. I mean, if you're...
Yeah, if you do not live in the United States, we still send these to you. So it's not something that's just continental United States. These will go anywhere. So, just to let you know, make sure you get your name on that wheel.
Yeah. So far, there's only 2 people signed up on the wheel. There's a link down below in the description where you can go to put your name on the wheel. You have to do it. I'm not chasing you down. Hey, let me tell them just a little bit. I don't know a whole lot about this couple that we've got here.
Okay.
But I do have some facts as they've shared on their page here on their site.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, Jeff he's a former military person,
mm-hmm.
Air Force.
Yes.
30 years of active duty.
And thank you for that service. Well, when we get them live on here and he can talk.
He decided to build a homestead then after 30 years. I would have thought that he would have learned and not wanted to go to work that hard after that. But anyway, his wife also left the workplace. They moved out of beautiful homes and they're living in a camper. They don't have any electricity. It's all off grid. I don't know what else to tell you. But Back to Country Homestead is the name of the channel. I'm sure our moderators will be putting links up there from time to time. And we have got an absolute ton of questions. If you notice in the background here, this is kind of the banner that's on their page. And he's got a fair amount of equipment on that banner, so we're going to talk about that too. Do you get anything else?
Just questioning Homestead Rewind. Do you mean the Thursday Night Live that Daryl used to do, where he would get a channel and talk about what's going on? Is that what you're you miss your advice? Miss the advice on my channel? I don't know if that's what. With Daryl, you never know anymore what time he's going to get home. I mean, 6:30 is usually the latest.
But sometimes 7.
One night he didn't get home till after 10.
Yeah.
So there you have it. And thank you. I'm going to take my headset off. Some of them have noticed when I've been on Facebook and all that. I got my hair done today. So this is my hair. She cut it and she did whatever she had to do to it.
Oh, here, let me make it a little bit more just you on the screen here. There you go.
And yeah, so I like it. I think she did a good job. I have no idea if anyone else in my household like it because it wasn't mentioned.
It looks very nice.
Yeah, Smudge doesn't talk, so, he doesn't care. Yep, Homestead Rewind. Maybe that's something we should talk Daryl into doing is a Thursday night, his Thursday night chats on channels. Quite a few people talked about them enjoying him doing reviews on the channel. So, and I think he liked it. I think he liked it. Yeah, I'm feeling a lot better. It comes in waves, but knock on wood, I'm feeling a whole lot better. I still walk like I'm over 100. I'm still wobbly.
The weeble wobble.
I am a wobble. No, Daryl didn't get it. He got his hair done, his beard and his hair done. He did that, I think, last week. He does his own.
Okay, well,
Fishes and loaves. How are you, sweetheart?
Let's get him out here.
Yep, let's bring him on.
All the way from Texas, Jeff and Lorena. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
Lorena. So here they are.
Very good, Daryl.
Howdy, y'all, from Northeast Texas. Glad to be here. Appreciate you having us on tonight.
Well, we appreciate you being on, and thank you for your service. That is definitely something anymore.
Can I ask what you did in the service? I saw you were in the Air Force. Are you a former pilot or?
No. I was in the intelligence business.
Oh, okay. I can understand that. My dad was that way. Except his was it Army intelligence. But...
Oh, I didn't know he was in intelligence.
Yeah. Of course, I don't remember it because I wasn't around. But...
So, even though they can talk nothing about it because it's top secret.
Top secret, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And Naked Gardeners are in here.
Yep.
And I believe they're in Texas, too.
Yes, they are. Yeah, they just bought their... Has it been a year yet? I don't know. That Naked Gardeners Air Force. I don't know if... I don't think they've had their property a year yet. But they're doing pretty good for being city dwellers.
City dwellers.
Yeah. They have ducks and chickens. Yep.
So you were in intelligence in the Air Force. Probably can't tell us anything.
It's secret.
Gee.
Intelligence.
I spent a lot of time in buildings without windows and places underground.
Oh my gosh.
I went multiple times to very hot, unnice places. I try to keep this PG, but
so you were happy to get out, huh?
Yeah, I'd say after 30 years, I had enough. multiple reasons. I mean, things are changing quite rapidly these days, and I'm just glad I don't have to deal with any of that nonsense. But additionally, you know, really, I think when you look at people and you talk about, you know, how old you are or whatever, you know, we think that there's people years, and then, you know, there's dog years that are like, what, 7 to 1 or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There's military years that fall somewhere in between there. And so it definitely wears on you. You take quite a beating over the years. And I think last time I was in, I don't remember, Iraq or Afghanistan, one of them places over there, you know, I kind of thought to myself that, man, I'm getting too old for this.
Well, Lorena, can you share what you used to do?
I work on an elementary school, and I was assistant teachers, helping students that were struggling with math and reading. So I really enjoy doing that, and I didn't really want to quit, but Jeff, once he retired, he said to me, "You have to come and join me. Let's retire." And I said to him, "You know what? Give me one more year just to enjoy my last year, you know." And so I did it, and now I'm glad I did it. You know, I'm here now.
So you were working intelligence with the kids.
Yes, exactly. It was fun. It was very fun.
Do I detect an accent here?
Yes, I'm from Mexico, Monterrey, Mexico.
I was going to say that's definitely not Texas. I thought it might have been. Yeah. Yeah. That's where my great niece got married last weekend. Was in Mexico.
Somewhere in Mexico.
Yeah, I forget where.
Oh.
There's many beautiful places.
Yep, and definitely need teachers no matter where you are. We definitely need decent teachers.
So they're both service oriented.
Yes, very
Absolutely.
much so. Yes.
So that's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk
Well,
about.
in all honesty, we're still doing that. I mean, that's kind of why we do YouTube, to share not only our experience and everything, and to encourage other people to say, look, you don't have to know how to do all this stuff. You don't have to be an expert and have done it all your life. You just got to be willing to put in the work, go for it, you know.
Right.
And if you got a different dream, chase that dream, but don't ever let anybody tell you you can't. And, you know, if you want to do what we're doing, we definitely share, we share the good and the bad. I mean, we make our mistakes, and I think it was maybe a month ago I rolled my tractor over on its side, you know, so I always make comments about Murphy striking, you know, if it can go wrong, it will.
Mm-hmm.
And it often does around here. But we just roll with it. I mean, that's one of the beauties, actually, of being retired is we don't have any timelines but our own. I think the first year I retired, I was kind of like still in that military mode, and I was trying to get everything done, and I was stressing myself and just going nuts. And then one day I had this epiphany and kind of went, what am I doing this? Why am I pushing myself so hard? I don't answer to nobody, you know, it's just me and Lorraine. And she wasn't putting any hard timelines on me. So then we kind of had a talk, and we said, you know what? We're retired. We do what we want. Let's just roll with it. And that's what we've been doing ever since. So
the Naked Gardeners are asking, what part of East Texas are you located?
So we are north of Longview, Texas, between Diana, a little town called Diana, Texas, and Lake of the Pines.
Okay.
Well, let's talk about your property just for a minute here. How much property do you have?
So it's 100 acres.
Oy vey.
Okay. And how did you acquire the property? Did you just, go to a sheriff's sale or something, or did you?
Well, so I was enlisted in the military, so I knew that when I hit that 30 years, my time was going to pretty much be up. That's the way they do it. depending on your job, sometimes you can go a little bit longer. My little bit longer was a couple weeks. I think 3 weeks, actually. So before that, about 5 years prior, we needed to work on, our 5-year plan. What were we going to do when that retirement came? We knew it was coming. In the business I was in, I had plenty of opportunity to go back to work and still work for the government, or other organizations, doing pretty much the kind of stuff I was doing, as an analyst. And, I didn't want to do that. I'd had enough of, everything, really. And, we had lived in the country in the past. I grew up in the country. Of course, Lorena comes from a big city, but we were luckily, we were blessed to be stationed, in West Texas, San Angelo, where we lived in the country. We were in the South of Japan, which is way out in the country. And so we had some different assignments where, in Alaska was a great one too, where we lived in the country and did country things. And, our final assignment in the Air Force, we were in San Antonio, Texas, which is another huge city. And, with all the crime and everything, we just needed to get away from that. So, that's kind of how we came up with back to country. It was our, goal always to get back to the country and the country way of life. And, so 5 years out, we just started looking. First, we had to decide, what state do we want to retire in. We looked at a lot of different states, but our prior assignment being in Alaska and also having done an assignment in Japan, where I think we averaged about 139 inches of snow every year, we were quick to decide that we didn't want to retire somewhere where we needed to shovel snow. Okay. So that kept us in the South. And, of course, who don't love Texas? So you gotta love Texas. And Texas loves veterans. So it's a mutual love. And so we started looking around Texas. Lorena said, no way, I don't want to live in Texas, because we'd lived in San Angelo, which is West Texas, dry, deserty, scrub brush. I mean, there's every time it rains, it's just the beginning of the next drought.
It's a whole other world away from where you are now.
Yeah, yes. And then we lived in, the big city, and, well, that just got worse and worse. Crime's horrible, and it's just a big city. And I said, well, you haven't seen East Texas. You gotta come see East Texas. And we had some friends out here in East Texas that we decided I had an event up in Dallas. So we went to that event for a weekend, and then we headed out here to East Texas. And we took a drive around. And I had seen a bass fishing tournament on TV years ago that was at Lake of the Pines, and I wanted to just drive up and see the lake, because I remember it being a beautiful lake. And I drove her up there to the lake, and she took one look at it, said it was beautiful, and this is it. So
yes, I thought this place. That's it.
There you go.
So then I put my intelligence skills to work, got on the internet, started looking at properties on a lot of different websites, but primarily I used a website called Lands of Texas. And I was doing random searches for property, looking for about 40 to 60 acres. And one day I changed my search parameters from acreage to dollar amount, because all those properties, 40 to 60 acres, were coming up. Asking price at that time in 2012 was about $200,000 for 40 to 60 acres. So I put in, I think, up to like 250,000, and hit the search button, and bam, all these bigger properties started popping up. And this was actually a pine plantation that had been clear cut in 2010, and then in 2011 and 2012 we had a really bad drought. And so when we came here in 2012, everything was dry. The timber wasn't really growing, and the owner was in his 80s and ready to retire. His kids didn't want nothing to do with the timber industry, so he was selling everything he had. This was a 100-acre property. He had another 5,000-acre property, but that one wasn't in my price range.
Okay.
So we made a deal, and we were able to get this property, and then the fun began.
Did you get first rights on the 5,000 acre though for the future?
No, I didn't figure that was ever going to be my price range.
Well, goodness sakes, 100 acres. So, are you? What are you going to do with 100 acres?
You know, I got more plans than we can do in a lifetime. You know, right now, our first thing, we still have our house in the city in San Antonio. So we come out here in the RV and we stay as long as we can until we have, like, you know, a doctor's appointment or something that pulls us back to the city, or something with our kids or whatever. My daughter's in Austin going to college, and my son's lives in San Antonio, so we go back there for them, of course. And so right now we're working on building a 50 by 100 metal building that we plan to build living quarters in. And once that is dried in and we've done the spray foam to get it insulated because it is hot in Texas, then we're going to go back and move all our household goods up here, we've got some shipping containers. We'll store some of them, but we'll stage everything in that shop so we can then kind of get organized. And then we'll put the house up for sale, get it on the market, and basically move out here full time. We'll stay in the RV at first, and then we'll build the living quarters inside of the shop area. And that's phase one. And then the next thing, we've got 7 acres marked off that we want to high fence, and that's going to be an orchard garden area. We'll probably put a chicken coop in there and things like that. We've got 3 greenhouses that we already purchased. We got them a good deal on them. A place was basically going out of business and getting rid of their commercial greenhouses, so we went and took a couple of them down, and we've got 3 greenhouses that are commercial. One of them is 2 greenhouses in one, and that's like 60 by 100, and the other one's a 30 by 100 hoop house. So we're going to do greenhouses. We want to do aquaponics. You know, everything is about building as close to possible a self-sustaining homesteads. So there'll be lots of gardening and you know, there'll be the addition of animals and all that kind of stuff. I used to work when we were in San Angelo. I did day work on a ranch, and so got some cattle experience and stuff like that. We'll bring in stuff. I don't know what all we're going to get yet.
Bring in some of those longhorns.
We have some bees already.
Yep, we've already got our bee yard set up. I've been keeping bees for several years, and I used to buy all my bees, and we got here, and I said, you know what, I don't want to buy any bees. Let's just set up some swarm traps and start catching them. And so we did. The first year we caught one, and that original one, actually, we didn't even set up a swarm trap. They swarmed I've got a big earth mover, and they swarmed inside of that, and we're building a hive inside my earth mover.
Oh, goodness.
So I had to get them out of there. Luckily, I had the experience to do that. And they died a couple of years ago in the big freeze. They didn't make it. But since then, we've been catching 1 to 2 hives a year. This is the first year that we didn't put up swarm traps because we're just really focused on our building right now. So we said we don't want to take the time to do that. But we've got 4 hives right now, and like I say, we'll add 2 or more hives a year probably from here on out. Just depending on how it goes.
The Naked Gardener is asking, how much is the spray foam per square foot?
I have no idea. We haven't got to that part yet. I will tell you that, you know, we're big do-it-yourselfers, mainly because we got more time than money. So we try to do everything we can ourselves. So far on this building, the only thing we contracted out was the slab. And that's just because I don't have a crew to work that amount of concrete. So we contracted that out. They did it in a few days, which I never could have pulled off. And the rest, we've been doing it ourselves. No experience. Lorena's become quite the telehandler operator.
Yeah.
So, Daryl, you might want to give her props there.
Oh, absolutely. Matter of fact, I drive one of those every so often.
I know.
Oh, yeah, no. I had to do it every day here. So he put all his trust in my hands. And I put the trust in God that he will be a good guy,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if I put a pallet on the end of that thing, and then I usually strap on with a safety harness, and she puts me where I need to be on that building, so works out pretty good.
Yeah.
But we're just going to keep doing it yourself. So there is a spray foam outfit. There's a few of them. One of them I've been looking at in the store. I gotta reach out to them when I'm ready and get the quotes and everything. But basically, what they do is they rent the trailer with all the equipment in it and one operator. And the operator, what he does, he runs the equipment in the trailer, changes out the chemicals and all that, and then you do the spraying. So they train you. The operator trains you how to do it, but you're the one that's going to do the work. And there's a significant, what I'm told, there's a significant savings to doing it that way. So that's what we're going to look into, and then we'll probably get some bids from local folks as well and see if anybody can even come close. I mean, if I can pay somebody to do it for the same price what I can do it for myself, I'll gladly pay somebody. But, it rarely works out that way.
Well, that's for sure.
It's almost 9:30. Why don't we do one spin?
Well, I was just going to say, do you want to warn everybody first?
I already did.
All right, you already did. So, all right. So I guess we're going to spin the wheel here once and see if we can give away a $2 bill. And for those of you that don't know, if you are a member of the channel, not only will you win the $2 bill, but you'll win this month's fees that you so kindly donated to us. You'll win those back, so you'll get the $2 plus whatever your membership fee was. So with that, there's the wheel. It's like a blue orb.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is.
So give her a spin. Let's see what we got. Now, I'm not going to pull names off the wheel tonight. So if the name comes up a second time, we'll just spin again. Jennifer. Rhymes with danger. Danger.
Mm-hmm.
Jennifer Enger. If I said that right. So, Jennifer, you need to send an email to twofamilyhomestead@gmail.com. Give us your address and social security numbers and all that. No, you don't do that. Just send us your address and we'll get you a $2 bill out in the mail. Jennifer, thanks so much for being here this evening. And with that, let's go back to our guest.
Hey, we're still here.
Yes, you are. I wasn't going to let you go. So, at this point in time, though, you really don't have animals to speak of?
We just got a dog, Whiskey.
Okay. And you're living in a camper at present?
Yep, Class C motorhome. I think it's a 29-footer.
So, how long have you been doing that?
Oh.
Well,
I see you're both. I don't see bruises on anybody here, so.
No, I know, and it can become sometimes it becomes very tight,
Yeah.
So, the good thing we love each other, and it's good.
Yeah, we bought the motorhome in 2013, and of course I was still on active duty at that time. I didn't retire until 2017, so between 13 and 17, I would take leave and come up here maybe once or twice a year. And but once I retired in 2017, I've just come out here for more and more and more. And when Lorena joined me, we started staying even longer. So we generally I guess we're here anywhere from 2 weeks on a real short one to a few months. I don't know how long we've been here this time.
So far, 3 weeks.
So 3 weeks so far, and I think we're here another couple weeks before we got to go back for my daughter's graduate from UT.
So, and you're currently building a steel frame building, right?
Yes.
That's what
Correct.
they're going to live in.
Well, yeah, but it's also going to be a shop. The shop's important. Living quarters are second.
I see.
Right on. I don't know.
Now, I told you, I better have that living quarters, very cute, very cozy, you know. If not, I'm going to go crazy on you.
Well, she looked how big the shop is already, and she said, you know, this is nice. I could roller skate in here. You got to make my shop into a skating rink or something.
So I'm a little curious. Is this some sort of a kit thing that you purchased, or did somebody draw this up? You just had to buy all the raw beams.
No, it was a kit. So we basically designed it. You know, there's some different sites like Mueller Metal Buildings and some other ones that have online designing deals. We went online, we designed what we wanted, and then we kind of took the idea from there and put it out for bid to every company we could find. And we took the lowest bidder. And basically they were all offering the same thing, but the prices were drastically different.
Really?
Yeah, unfortunately, we bought it. So when I started looking at these things, we were looking at about $35,000 for a metal building kit, what we wanted. And by the time we got around to actually ordering it, the prices had gone up, and the bid we got was $55,000. And then before they could even manufacture it, the steel prices went up again, and ended up costing us $61,000. Well, with tax and everything, it was $65,000 delivered.
Yeah.
So we're way over budget. As you're well aware, the price of lumber, everything's just gone through the roof, and yeah, we're paying for it. That's for sure.
Yeah,
which means we do more ourselves.
Yeah, I absolutely hate it when I go fill up my truck and the pump shuts off at $100. I don't know why, but it shuts off at $100, and it's not full.
Yeah.
So I hate it.
Yeah, well, and we're running generator on gasoline, so we make trips to fill up our gas cans, and this time of year it's getting hot now, so we're running it a lot more. I usually just run a little 2,000 watt generator that'll run, 12 hours on a gallon of gas.
Right.
And run everything except the air conditioner.
Right.
Now we got to run the air conditioner, so we're probably spending about 5 gallons a day on gas.
Well, just a thought, you could maybe split the power up and have a bigger generator for the air conditioner and only run it when you're going to do that. And just keep your other load on a 2,000 watter. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I would have to rewire to set something up, like that.
Right.
Or I just go out and I switch it. So yeah, when I don't have to run the air conditioner, I run the little one still.
Yeah. I mean, my immediate thought would be just to pull the wiring out for the air conditioning and just run that out to a big generator. But
yeah.
Just a thought. So.
Something to think about for sure. So we're about to hit the hot season. I mean, we're going to eat this week. I think we're going to be in the 90s all week.
Well, let's talk about some of this equipment that I see you have on your banner. I see what appears to be a dozer with some ripping claws.
Yep, that was the first piece of equipment I bought. So the property had this big hill in the middle of it, well, kind of in the middle. And that's where we wanted to build the house and everything. but it was kind of a peak hill, so I needed to cut the top off of that hill. But then I had to move dirt to build my pad for the shop too, and I had no clue about excavation or dirt work, so I just bought a dozer and started pushing dirt around and playing it, figuring it out, and yeah, I way underestimated what I did off there. So then I just kept on having to buy more equipment to do more work.
Well, I see you got an excavator there. It looks like, what, about 12,000, 15,000?
Well, I've got a big John Deere 790E, which is equivalent to like a 200 something. And then I've got that little one that is Hyundai 55, and I don't know, it's probably about 12, 14,000, something like that. And then let's see, I got the tractor with the big front end loader on it. That's a giant tractor. And a scraper, big earth mover. That's a 21 yard scraper. And a maintainer, big motor graders. And dump truck. And
I call it his Tonka toy.
The Tonka toys.
And of course, the most recent purchase was the 10,000 pound capable telehandler. So I kind of go big or go home. And
it sounds like it. Sounds like you're getting ready to start a rental business here.
If I could keep from breaking everything. So everything I got is old. I mean, I can't afford new stuff. So I would go on auctions and everything, find good deals on equipment, and get it here. And there's always something that was broke on it or whatever. And so then I learned to mechanic, and I tried to hire a mechanic, and that dozer needed a little bit of work. It cost me $400 just for him to pick it up and take it down the street to his shop. And then I don't know, it was over $1,000 for the work he did. And I looked at what he did and was like, you gotta be kidding me. And after that, I got online and ordered all the manuals and everything. I learned myself, so now I fix everything. So, I could come up here with the intent of working on a building or the pad or whatever I was doing at the time, and a day or two in, every piece of equipment I got is broken. I got to play mechanic for a while. So that's, part of the reason why this is taking so long, that and going back and forth between the city. But I mean, we actually started moving to dirt. I think before I retired, I started moving a little bit, but I really hit it hard before I was 17. So we're 5 years into this and just now building. So that was 5 years of moving dirt, basically.
I think you said something earlier that I kind of just glossed over. Nothing was said, but did I hear something about tipping over a tractor?
Yeah. A few, I don't know, maybe a month ago. Yeah. So I built a temporary road because the pad is so elevated. We're about, probably 20 foot higher than it drops down. And so I had to build a road to come up to the pad, but I didn't have time to move the amount of dirt to really do it right. So, I just built a rough road and covered it with big crushed concrete for a construction road, really, just because I needed to get a delivery truck up here for the building, and then I needed to get concrete trucks up here for the slab. And so I built a road that I could do those things with, and I knew it was going to be temporary. But one thing about Northeast Texas, when it rains, it pours. And just last week it rained and we got 4 inches in less than a day.
Wow.
So,
and the week prior to that, we got
inch and a half.
And the prior week was 3 inches, and every week it rains and it pours really hard.
So you can imagine with an unfinished road how much erosion problems I got.
Oh, yeah.
So I had a cut bank built on the side of my road. I mean, it washed out my shoulder and was starting to cut back under the road. And I was like, yeah, this is dangerous, so we got to do some road work. And we've got a field that we call the Field of Stone because every time I rip it with my dozer, I just pull up tons of rocks. We go down there and fill up the bucket on the loader, which is about a ton of rock when I do that. And so I had to drive up around the pad, and there was a hump of dirt that was on one side, and I drove up over that hump. I had my bucket lifted up a little bit to clear the hump, and then
We lost them.
We temporarily lost them. So I'm sure they'll figure that out here shortly. And call
Yeah,
us.
Darren, I see the question, but it's like trying to be polite to not interrupt.
Oh, we got wiped out there.
Okay, can you hear us?
I can hear
we
you.
can hear you.
Okay, and
Going on here.
there
There
we go.
we go.
Almost.
There we go. Well, it was there for a second.
We're for a second.
There we go. Let's try it.
Okay.
There they are.
We
Sorry.
had a spam call wipe us out. Anyway, so I was pulling the tractor along this road. I lifted the bucket to clear a hump. One tire went up on the hump. What I didn't know was the other side where the other set of tires was all silt, and it was like quicksand. And so, I mean, as soon as I hit that, the axle, I dropped clear down to the axle in the mud. And it was like slow motion. I felt it just going over it. Just,
And I
Wow.
was watching it, and it's nothing like quick. I was just watching it like the cartoons, you know, when they go slow.
it just tipped over to its side. Luckily, I have the back window open, and it's a big enough cab. I mean, it's a huge tractor, and I just kind of stood up and walked right on around it. It tipped. And then I walked out the back window and looked and went, damn. So then I got the big excavator down there to lift that thing back up, and it's a mess. We got the telehandler stuck, and I was trying different things. Finally, I just brought in the big gun, the big giant excavator, and that got it back up. But yeah, we put a video out on that. It was something.
Okay, go ahead.
Where to begin Homestead? Could you use trees from your property to help with the cost of lumber?
In theory, we could, but everything was clear cut in 2010, so we really don't have any big lumber at this point that would be good for that. So,
Well, you need to be a little bit thankful, or else you'd have a sawmill there.
right.
So you just saved the price of a sawmill there.
No, I told you, don't buy more things. No more. Huh? We have enough. Let's work with that, and then we can sell it.
Part of my problem is I hate the rent stuff. Because, I mean, to me, like, I've been doing this dirt work. I did it 5 years. You can't rent something for 5 years. I never know how long I'm going to be here. I don't know how much I'm going to get done. And I knew nothing about dirt work. So, if I would have had a clue about the dirt work, I may not have even I might have developed another plan. I don't know. Because, I mean, we didn't move. I have no idea how many yards. I know thousands of yards of dirt I moved. And so, looking at it now, you're like, dang, I can't believe I did that. I mean, if we walk up the hill where we plan to build our house, there's a rock formation that I found that was kind of under the ground because our hill is iron ore, and there's an iron ore like plateau that was buried, and I found it as I was digging down. Well, that plateau today is about 9 feet above, or maybe 10 feet above the ground.
Yeah, like,
And that was not the top.
Wow. So
And we're talking a space that's well over 200 yards by 100 yards that I've cut.
So the lumber that is on your property, whatever's grown back, is it pine type wood, or is it hardwoods, or?
Well, we've got a lot of pine. This was a pine plantation, so there's a lot of pine coming back.
And we have a lot of oaks growing too.
Oaks, sweet gum, hickory. I mean, there's quite a mix. It's amazing what's coming back because we're doing what's called natural regeneration. Mm-hmm. We didn't replant anything. So, I mean, we've got oaks, maples, hickories, just a really mix of everything. And then there's a lot of weird stuff, you know, like longhorn, staghorn, sumac, red buckeye, lots of wild. There's a native plum that grows wild here. And so we've got hogs, too, and they run around, spread seeds everywhere, you know. So we find new stuff all the time.
Well, it sounds very, very interesting. And I see that Jason Big Bear Homestead is saying now with the cost of renting, you could almost buy the equipment.
I agree, and that's the thing. And especially if you're willing to spend the time and you know, go out to the auctions and things like that and find the deals. You know, I mean, I bought a motor grader, and it's a big motor grader, not a little small thing, for $6,500, I think, delivered and everything. It was less than $7,000. So there's equipment out there to be had. It's quite a bit more expensive now, just because of everything that's going on. People can't afford new stuff, so now everybody wants new stuff. Mm-hmm. I think I could pretty much sell anything I've got and make a profit at this point, just based on the price of things. Which that's a good thing. I do plan to sell some equipment here pretty soon because my big earth moving, I hope, is done.
I think so.
So I've got to do a repair on my big scraper. It's a 21-yard scraper, and that's a self-elevating belly pan type with a motor to pull it and everything. So I'll probably fix that and put it on the market here sometime in the near future, just to unload one piece of equipment and help finance this shop.
So down the road, are you going to build a separate house, or are you just going to continue like? It sounds to me like. Okay. It just sounded to me like maybe the shop that you have is going to be more in the barn dominion type thing, where you're just going to, and you're going to live in it for a while anyway.
Yeah, but it's going to be a small. I mean, we're talking. I think it'll be about 850 square foot, the living quarters. So nothing big, and over the years we've acquired quite a bit of stuff, like most people do, especially traveling the world and everything. So when we talked about doing this, Lorena definitely said she wanted a house, and she's got a nice formal dining room set and everything. I tried to offer to set up shipping containers configured into whatever room, so no. I was going to have her like you could imagine a dining car on a train or something. I was going to have dining room containers, but she wasn't going for that.
No, I want a house. No, I respect a lot of people that they make their houses with shipping containers. I respect them, and they look really nice. But I don't want a house.
Oh, I wasn't going to build a house out of it. I was just take a shipping container and put your dining room in it.
Yeah, he's going to get a bunch of them, and he's going to set it up campus style. So if you want to go to the dining room, you got to hike over to that one, and want to go to the bedroom, you got to hike over to another one.
I mean, she worked at schools, and they have those modular classrooms,
right,
that they park around the campus.
Right.
She should be used for it.
It's not for me.
Yeah, so we did have a plan to build a house, but we haven't designed it yet. So that's one thing. We want to do a custom home. We'd like to do, I think ICF is what I'm leaning towards. Okay. The insulated concrete forms.
Right.
And, we want to design it ourselves and build something that, is custom to what we want. And
that's the way to do it if you
they'll have
can.
a storm shelter down in the basement and that kind of stuff, so.
But that's down the road, first we have to finish these, live in the living quarters here, and then, we have to save some more money, sell the house.
Everything in stages.
Mm-hmm.
Building the barn dominium, whatever, that was just our plan to get here.
Is the area that you're in, is that out of the area of storms? That
No, quite.
So, we had a tornado, I don't know what, last month, that probably came within less than 20 miles from us. This is, we're kind of through Tornado Alley. But one good thing, when I started looking at properties and everything, of course, we lived in West Texas and there are a lot of tornadoes there too, so we've been through it and we don't like it. But this is where we're at, and I looked at properties, and I can't remember anymore the website, but I went online and I found kind of a website that had tracked tornadoes. I don't remember how many years it went back or anything. It's been so long ago now, but I researched this area and this specific property before we bought it, and I found that there had never been a tornado. I think the closest I found was back in the 60s. That was about 6 miles away, and everything else has been pretty far off. And part of the reason I think that is because this property, we're kind of in a real hilly area. And so it's my theory. I'm not a meteorologist or anything, so, this is pure my theory. But I think that tornadoes, they seem to like open areas. And I've seen a lot where they'll hit like a hill and they'll actually jump up and cross a valley, and then on the other side they'll drop back down. And so I think that hilly terrain changes the wind currents enough that it affects that.
Of course, now this is the guy that's just been moving all this dirt for the past how many years, flattening things out and making a landing strip.
Well, it's still on the top of the hill, though.
Daryl, it's about time. Let's do that other spin.
Alrighty, yep, we can do that. So, hope you all have your names on the wheel. If not, I'm sorry, it's too late. Here is the wheel. Ready?
Mm-hmm. Go for it.
Well, look at this.
Us.
This is a first.
That's a good one.
It's our lucky night.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Another winner.
Okay, you got to send us an email now. Give us your mailing address, so we can get a $2 bill to you.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what?
Does this mean we now have to declare that we were paid to be on your show?
Absolutely. We'll send those forms out. Want to spin again? Should we spin again?
No.
Okay. I was just asking. Yeah, we're pretty light tonight. There's only 14 in here right now. We were up to 22. I do want to thank everybody that is here and has been here and contributes to the chat and to everybody's
Take the wheel off.
Take the wheel off. Okay, I can do that. Thank you. There we go.
Yeah, 1099. There you go, Jason.
So, anyway, I want to thank everybody that is here, and those of you that do show up every week. Everybody bring a friend next week. Let's see if we can't get a lot more like we used to have here. Get her up into 40s and 50s, and then we'll go from the 40s and 50s up to the 80s and 100s, and eventually we'll get it built back up again. So,
Jason wants you to spin again.
well, we will next week. We
don't pay you to stay off the show. Keep it up there, Trouble.
So
you'll get yours come November.
So for our newfound Texas friends, you got any last thoughts you'd like to share with folks out there? You know, we've been on for like almost an hour here.
Mm-hmm.
Time flies when you're having fun.
You betcha. You betcha.
Do y'all still travel in your RV at all?
We have not done too much of this since Sherry had her operations.
Yeah, when we came back in September, that was it.
Yeah.
That was the worst trip we ever had. Shouldn't have done it.
Yeah, we went last year for what we hoped was going to be more than 2 weeks.
You brought your fiancé?
But,
you got to live that one down there, down under.
But
well, I'll put it out there publicly. If you all ever take a long trip in your RV and you want to come down to Texas, you're more than welcome.
I think they have enough property.
Yeah. Put someplace they won't see us for weeks on end. Yeah, Jason can't do that. They see us every time we walk out the front door.
Well, he just wants somebody to take care of the cows in the garden.
No, I just say there's cows when I'm sitting on the chair in the living room.
So
well, I just figured I could put Daryl to work. I know you can operate at least a telehandler.
Well, yeah, I didn't see. Quite frankly, I didn't see anything on your page here that I haven't run. But all right, Jeff, thank you so much for being here. Stay in touch. Stay in touch, and we will do likewise. And hopefully, folks that are in the chat, go check out his channel. It doesn't cost you anything to go look. It doesn't cost you anything to hit that subscribe button either. So, build them up a little bit. Jeff,
I'm going to be putting out a video tomorrow. We'll be giving out a layman's cast iron skillet. I'll do the live stream probably on Friday. So, if you want to go to my channel and subscribe, that would be nice. And get some people in there.
Well, we appreciate y'all having us on.
Thank you so much.
Well, it's been a nice night. I've enjoyed it. Learned a lot about you.
okay.
You're more than welcome to come anytime you want.
Well, thank you so much.
Well, we have quite a few friends in Texas.
Okay.
Yep.
So
That's about it.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Folks, just remember, the worst time to have a heart attack is when you're playing charades. Everybody have a nice evening. Take care, and we will see you next week.